Hey y'all, Irix Guy here. Now I want to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of both a DSLR camera and a prosumer camcorder for video. Now on my back I've got, and I'm filming this with a prosumer camcorder. I'm filming it with the Canon XA10 with a Rode video mic. On my back I've got my DSLR video rig, and each of these options provides a great set of advantages and disadvantages. Now right here I have the, and it's an awesome camera by the way, somewhat entry-level price for a DSLR, but it's the Canon T3i, also known as Canon 600D. It's part of the Canon EOS series. And I've got this really nice lens on it right now, the Rokinon 35mm T1.5. So that is one of the advantages to a DSLR, is that you can change the lenses. On the Canon XA10, and I'm just using these two as a comparison because I own, these are the two cameras that I own for video. So being able to change the lenses is really neat, because on it right now I've got the Rokinon cinema lens, but in addition to that I've got a telephoto lens. And then I also have a just a standard, the lens that comes with the 18 to 55mm EFS lens. So that is one of the big advantages to the DSLR over the Canon XA10 prosumer camcorder, is that you can change the lenses. And obviously if you're not just using it for video, you can easily just take still photos as well, and that's not something you would do with the Canon. Now something that you get with the Canon XA10 that you do not get with the Canon DSLR is a fully functional remote. So like right now while I'm filming this, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can stop the record, I can have access to a plethora of options on the Canon XA10. Something that the Canon XA10 does a good job of, it autofocuses quite well. And the screen on the side that I'm looking at right now while I'm filming this, it's easy to see myself and make sure that I'm in the frame and my hands aren't going to go outside of the frame. The Canon T3i, it does have a tilt-out display, which is nice. Now you go with a more expensive Canon EOS model, you may not have this luxury. So if you're filming yourself, this is nice. But obviously, if I'm filming myself with the EOS T3i, probably going to be using a higher end lens like this that may not have autofocus. So in my case, I can focus it before I get into the frame, and that works quite well. But with this being a smaller display, it's kind of hard to see. Is it really focused that great? If you have more than one person filming, it's awesome, because they can see and they can focus as the video is being filmed, so that's nice. But now one of the limitations that I found with the DSLR for video, and I didn't realize this before I purchased the DSLR. I had the Canon XA10 prosumer camcorder for a year or so prior to getting the DSLR, and it was the portability. What made me get a DSLR is the portability aspect, and knowing that I can carry this one camera and I can capture both video, very high quality video, as well as high quality audio, because I also have the Rode. I got this Rode mic that I use in conjunction with my Canon EOS T3i. So it's very good broadcast quality. But I wanted to be able to take those, I wanted to be able to take the still photos and still have the luxury of doing video. Now if you're filming in the studio like I am now, the prosumer camcorder such as the XA10 is going to be optimal. Because right now I've got it plugged into a power jack. I don't have to worry about my battery life. Another thing with the Canon XA10 is that the batteries on it, especially if you go with like an aftermarket Wasabi power battery, you're going to get extremely excellent battery life. And that's good when you're out of the studio and maybe you're filming an extended duration sunset or something like that. The Canon's really going to trump, the Canon X-A10 is really going to trump a DSLR from that perspective. And then also the Canon X-A10, it has 2 SD card slots, and those can be configured in a way which the way I do it, I use the internal memory first, and then I'll start recording on SD1 and then SD2. But if you want to make sure you have a backup of your video, you can configure it in a way to where the recording on SD card 1 is mirrored to SD card 2. So should one of the SD cards fail or become lost, you've got a backup, which is nice. You don't get that with the DSLR. And then also what I was talking about earlier with the DSLR remote, and I do have a remote for the DSLR, and it's let me get it out here. I think I've got it in the other pouch in this. But all that it has is just a shutter button. So you don't have the zoom capabilities and all the fanciness that you get with the Canon X-A10 remote. One of the biggest, and it could be an issue, but if you're only concerned about video and you don't care about photos, there is a big limitation, and this is across, to my knowledge, all DSLRs. I may be wrong, so if I am, correct me. But I know at least with the Canon T3i and some other Canon EOS models that there's a hard stop of 4 gigs. So once that video hits 4 gig in file size, it's going to stop recording because it can't exceed 4 gigs. It's a file system limitation. And that's usually around 12 minutes of video. So if you're filming beyond 12 minutes on a regular basis, that's one reason, in my opinion, to consider a prosumer camcorder versus a DSLR. Now, the other reason there's a limitation on the time of the video recording on DSLR is that the DSLR cameras are prone to overheat during extended use. So everybody has their own opinions, and having used the Canon X-A10 prosumer camcorder for well over a year or so now, I've had nothing but pleasant experiences with it. It's a very reliable camera, but again, I can't change the lens. The lens is what it is. It's nice. It's got XLR jacks. That's something I don't get with the DSLR. I've just got a standard microphone jack on it, which is fine, but it's nice having the luxury of XLR jacks on the Canon X-A10. So here's what I would say, and you can check the link within this video's description to find links to both of the cameras that I use and the various accessories that I use. If you're primarily concerned with video, ask yourself, do you shoot short clips or do you shoot extended duration clips? If you're going extended duration most of the time, I would probably most definitely go with a prosumer camcorder. Are you filming in the field, or are you filming in a studio most of the time? If you're filming in the studio most of the time, you may want to go with a prosumer camcorder. Not saying that a prosumer camcorder is not portable for the field, but when you're in the field, you'll likely want to take some high quality still photos as well. For short clips, the ability to change lenses and obviously be able to take high quality still photos as well, I would consider a DSLR. And the other thing about a DSLR is great, especially with a somewhat entry level from a price point perspective, the Canon T3i that I have, also known as Canon 600D, you get the shell of the camera for a very affordable price and then purchase whatever lenses you would like to use with it. And a lens can make a huge difference in the visual quality of a video. And you can check out some of my videos that I filmed with this Canon T3i with the Rokinon 35mm t1.5 lens, and you can see for yourself how impressive those videos look. Not to say that the Canon X-A10 video is not great. I've got hundreds of videos both in my studio and filmed of tropical scenery, etc. with the Canon X-A10, and it looks great as well. So really, and cost is a thing. If you look at the price of the Canon XA10 versus a DSLR such as this T3i, it's significantly more expensive, but keep in mind with the DSLR, more than likely you're going to want to purchase additional lenses. And it's those sorts of things that add price to the camera. So there's a lot of things that one should take into consideration. And then also, now the replacement batteries for the Canon XA10, if you get the Wasabi Power, you're going to get some really, really awesome super extended life out of those batteries. Batteries for the Canon T3i, they're not as big, and ultimately they're not going to last as long, but they're typically less expensive, so you can carry more of those batteries. They're smaller, lighter, and less expensive. It's just a really, really hard decision. But if I was making it, I would ask myself, am I going to film extended duration video on a regular basis? And am I going to be filming in a studio or on the go? And do I need to shoot stills? And what's my budget? So the DSLR you can get in at a lot lower price point. But again, expect to buy those lenses, and for your audio for it, you're going to want something like the Rode video mic that I have to really give that professional quality audio. So tell me what you think. Share this video with others. Comment in the video description. Let me know what you think, and check the link within this video description. You can find the two cameras I was talking about, the DSLR camera and then also the Prosumer camcorder, the Canon XA10. And be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy, and enjoy all my other videos too. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.